Hey everyone, happy Monday again. What Monday is it? It's Miracle Monday. Who doesn't want to start off the beginning of the week looking at the way you look at the world and knowing that you hold the key for your own happiness? If you know how to use it, you absolutely hold the key to find that happiness and joy that you so deserve in your life. You know, I've used for me a lot of different ways to find happiness and joy. I've first started with overspending. I've started with people pleasing people. I've tried to do whatever I could to get people to like me, to be nice. I've eaten too much. I've exercised too much. I've not eaten enough. I've used all kinds of different ways to find happiness and joy in my life. And every single one of those failed. And that's what brought me where I'm at today, which I'm a mindset coach for women to help them find that true meaning and purpose in their life. Bring that to your career to become more successful. Bring that to your relationships to stand in your power and know who you truly are. If you try to do it the other way around, it's like a cat chasing its tail. You'll feel like you're always trying to get somewhere that you can never possibly get to on your own. And so, one of the biggest tools that I've used to help me find that happiness and joy and to get away from that negative voice of the ego telling me I'm not good enough, what's wrong with me, how come I can't get it figured out, how come I'm not pretty enough, smart enough, great enough, happy enough, all these different things. Every morning, every day, I spent my life struggling to figure all this stuff out. One of the greatest tools that I've used, that I use with my private coaching clients, is A Course in Miracles. And this has just been one of the most profound spiritual texts that I found that will burn right through all of the bullshit and bring you down to your core. Because ultimately, the only time that you don't feel good in your life is because you've forgotten who you are. You've lost touch with your truth. You've lost touch with your soul. And you're looking everywhere but where it can be found. And that's why you're struggling and feeling lost. Thank you so much for joining me here today. Hey, Claudine. And I don't know if I'm pronouncing your name right. Is it Romy? I think that's right, but let me know, Romy, if I'm saying your name correctly. Hey, Hannah. Thanks for watching. Oh, yes, to A Course in Miracles. I hear you. We're going to go over lesson 185 today. This was laid open on our ottoman here, and I thought, okay, this is the perfect lesson to go through then today, because I miss you too, Hannah, because it was laid open, and maybe the universe is speaking to me right now and said that one of you on here needs to hear lesson 185. Hey, Alex, thanks for joining me. Yeah, Hannah, I just wanted to tell you goodbye. I didn't get to give you a hug before you headed out, but okay, good. I'm saying your name right, Romy. Okay, so lesson 185. I want the peace of God. Now, if the word God sets you off, it did for me for a long time, because I had a negative connotation of the word because I felt like I was judged when I was young, growing up in a very strict church, and I felt like if I didn't match up, something was wrong with me, and we were compared because we didn't have enough money to donate to the church, and so the church was upset with us. So it took me a long time to be able to hear the word G-O-D and not have a negative connotation. But God doesn't care. You don't have to use the word to connect to your truth. So you could replace that with, I want peace. I want the peace of my soul. Who doesn't want to feel that? That's all of us searching for everywhere where it is not. That's what we're craving, is the peace of our soul. So here's what it goes on to say. To say these words is nothing, but to mean these words is everything. If you could but mean them just for an instant, there would be no further sorrow possible for you in any form, in any place or time. Heaven would be completely given back to full awareness, memory of God or truth or love or sanity entirely restored. the resurrection of all creation fully recognized. It goes on to say, no one can mean these words and not be healed. And that's the whole thing that A Course in Miracles talks about here, is we are here in this reality, in this, if you want to call it dream, because we're all in need of healing. And A Course in Miracles gives you a path to undo all of the things that aren't real and true in this world, such as death, dying, despair, hatred, jealousy, anger, aloneness. We're here to be healed from all of that, to bring each other back home. There's actually a line in there that says, we are all just here walking each other back home, which is perfect. So I want the peace of God is the lesson for today, 185, and you can use love there. I want the peace of love. So it goes on to say, no one can mean these words and not be healed. She cannot play with dreams, nor think she is herself a dream. She cannot make a hell and think it real. She wants the peace of God, and it is given her. For that is all she wants, and that is all she will receive. Many have said these words, but few indeed have meant them. You have but to look upon the world you see around you to be sure how very few they are. The world would be completely changed should any two agree these words express the only thing they want. Two minds with one intent become so strong that what they will becomes the will of God, for minds can only join in truth. So I'm going to stop and explain that to you a little bit more. It says, two minds with one intent become so strong that what they will becomes the will of God. So I think that to be true with my coaching clients. You know, when two of us sit down with the intention for healing, in the presence of love and in the presence of the universe being so much more intelligent and understanding and smarter than we are, we can sit in that presence and bring in the light and show each other what is true about each other. So you can see the difference even in our own lives when we're like, oh yeah, you know, I want to eat better. I'll eventually get to that. And I think I'm gonna. But you're like, you know damn well you're not. The same is true of anything I've learned from A Course in Miracles. When you can say, I want the peace of God, and you mean it with every fiber and every soul in your being, that you're tired of playing this game here of sickness and feeling alone and lost and afraid and wondering where your truth lies, and you say with every fiber in your being, I want the peace of God. It's different. It's totally different when you commit to it. And it says that very thing in here, that when you commit to it, and then two of you, where two or more gather in my name, you are so much more willing to have that be true. And it says, the mind, which means that all it wants is peace, must join with other minds, for that is how peace is obtained. And why it says that is because you see what happens in this world when we use judgment, which is the main device the ego, that negative voice in our head, uses to separate us. So the only way to avoid this separation and make us feel connected and whole again is to have two people join together with the same purpose. And you look around in the world, what is something that divides us all right now? That would be this whole virus thing. You know, what a perfect breeding ground for hate and fear and anger. Are you wearing a mask? Are you not wearing a mask? Are you staying at home? Are you not staying at home? Are you at work? Are you not at work? Are you part of this group that thinks everybody should do this, or are you not? And, you know, not to get into all the details of it and all the science and everything behind it, but if there's anything in the world that separates us, you know that is not the truth. If there's something in the world that brings us together and unites us, you know there is truth underneath that. But we all have to be aware, and we all have to choose for ourselves. So I know this is getting a little bit deep today. Hey, Amy, thanks for watching. Hey, Kelly, thanks for tuning in. But it goes back to the truth of what you want for yourself. Do you want peace of mind? There is a way to get to it. And it's not through conquering, dividing, comparing, judging, criticizing, and condemning. There is a better way, but you have to be willing and you have to show up for it and you have to ask for it. If any of you watching this know of another woman in your life who you're like, oh, they could so hear this message today, please share this with someone else. Or if you yourself are listening and you're like, oh my gosh, this is exactly what I needed to hear and I need help in my life with this. I'm feeling frustrated, angry, and upset, and I'm not able to get myself out of this and I need help. Reach out to me. That's what I love to do with my private coaching practice. Send me a DM and we can begin the conversation and see if we're meant to work together. So thank you all for spending your time with me here today, and I hope you have the most amazing rest of your day. And from my soul to yours, you deserve peace, and it is your birthright. See you next time.